If people are new to rolling arrays, so people joining rolling arrays new, what advice would you give them to be successful within rolling arrays?
Well, I think first of all, if there needs to be self-driven initiative from our end. We cannot expect everything will be smooth for sure. I mean, if we don't like in this situation, somewhere else also have the same situation, right? So just face it.
This afternoon, I've got Tom Becher with us on the Rolling Stories podcast. Tom is an account manager with Rolling Arrays, and he's kindly agreed this afternoon to give us a bit of background to his career and his current job in Rolling Arrays. Tom, welcome to the Rolling Stories podcast.
Hi, Philip. Thanks a lot for having me.
Okay, so job title is account manager. Just quickly tell me what that means.
Well, basically, account manager is it could mean many different things out there, but in Rolling Arrays specifically, it's a revenue generation team. So we need to bring a revenue to the organization. On top of that, we just not care about the new customer coming in, but we have to make sure that we take care relationship with the customer.
So if I could summarize then, it's focused on existing customers, but it is a revenue generating role, right?
That's one part of it, but new customer is also part of the scope, right? But in some other organization, they just get the new customer, and after that they leave it to the customer engagement executive or something like that to nurture the opportunity for upselling models, stuff like that. But then in Rolling Arrays is pretty much a new customer is part of my portfolio, and the ongoing communication with the customer as well. If they, for example, have an escalation towards the project management, they will go with me. So that point, it brings the flexibility to the customer to always, get to me, and also this gives the customer a flexibility to always reach out to me at any time if they would like to get more business, get more. If there is anything's progressing, especially from the opportunities side itself.
Great. Okay. So again, stepping back a bit, what took you into the software industry? What degree did you do at university? I've met lots of people where the stuff that they did at university has almost nothing to do with their current job, right?
Same thing, Philip. I think I experienced the same. Like I graduated from development of communication. It's pretty much like a journalist. So I really care about creating a video. I really care about making a film, writing a script, so stuff like that, But then during my college year, I remember that I joined this student organization where we create fun, but in order for us to get fun, we need to sell some stuff up. And I'm the one that fronting that stuff up. And I think that's where my sales career have been picked up. But right after college, I joined a foreign exchange kind of company where we ask people to invest their money and trading in the platform, especially in the foreign exchange. But I had an opportunity to join Oracle. That's where my technology career starts to popping. But I guess the point is that no matter what we sell, we need to make sure that what we sell is actually beneficial towards the other persons. And if we can sell, pretty much we can sell everything, no matter what the product is.
Okay. So 5 years Rolling Arrays, 2 or 3 years with Oracle and SAP. Software out of university wasn't really your study area, but you fell into it. So then fast forward, let's bring you back to Rolling Arrays then. So how did you come across, how did you discover Rolling Arrays?
I remember back then, Rolling Arrays is famous in SAP internally as a go-to partner, especially for success factors. And I remember last time Rolling Arrays is looking for a person who can do business development as to generate the business, right? So my colleague in SAP is telling me about these openings. And geographically, Singapore is actually near to Indonesia. Instead of Philippines to Indonesia, it's like 4 hours travel. But from Singapore to Indonesia, it's like 1.5 hours. So it's easy for me to go back to Indonesia rather than from Philippines to Indonesia. So I think I took the opportunity to work in Singapore.
What you've told us about your role, you told us about how you discovered rolling arrays, you told us about how you entered the software industry. Specifically about your current role, what's one of the favorite things, if you had to name one, about your current job?
Well, I think there are a lot of things, but I think I would like to name one thing that I guess it's really one of the proudest moment of my life, working in sales. I mean, we cannot deny the fact that salespeople are a little bit being avoided in the business, right? But once we get a sales, we just need to ensure that we seed the relationship with the customer. And in order for us to do that, it's not just us saying yes to the customer most of the times. It needs to be them also giving us something back, right? So in return, that's why we call it a partnership. So, I think there needs to be something that we have to go beyond just being a sales professional, like what I did in UMW. They have a huge go live celebration that time. I think it was a huge investment. They put up around 9 million ringgit, including the license and also the services. So when they do the celebration, it was really huge, and they need to present something in terms of the video launching, right? So going back to my university, I used to do video editing and all those stuff, right? So I did a video creation where they show it during the launching video of a launching success factors in that stage, which is a big stage, right? So they put a high volume into it. I was like, oh man, this is my work. This is not about sales. I don't get paid for this one, but it's more about relationship that I try to, yeah, with the customer. I spent for like 6 hours to do the editing, to do the shooting with our Rolling Race Malaysia team as well, like a Becher and some other, consultant in the office. And I created the whole concept and I show it to them before we present it, and they like the video very much. They really appreciate it. And I think it's one of the reasons also they keep on coming back to us in terms of the annual maintenance service. If there is anything going on, they also come back to us. They become comfortable. So I guess the key is that we need to ensure that we can do anything else aside from just being the salesperson in the organization.
As you said, it's a partnership, and I guess it's about not just selling to the customer, but the ongoing relationship with them. And it sounds like you have built up a number of relationships with some of Rolling Array's biggest customers. So, okay, talking about Tom, the individual, though, someone did tell me, as far as your hobbies outside of work, playing the drums. Is that true?
Yeah, I used to be in a band.
I used to be in a band.
Yeah, but not that famous, of course. But it's like an independent band that we play some of the cool stuff during high school and even during college, university, to get some attraction with all those, all those people.
Can you lay a drum? What do you call it? A drum sequence over the top of a song or something?
Yeah, just to ensure that I got the very good quality, what I did is that I used to play drum and record it, but put all the output in my headset first. So when the video actually get it to me, there is no sound at all, right? So it's just like, because it's drum electric, so it's like there's no sound like that, right? But when I do the final editing, I just put the -1 of the video, right? So I got the sound and lay it over in the editing with my whatever come out in my headset. So that's where we get all the tempos in sync.
So you can lay the drum track down on top of the. Wow, that's interesting. Interesting. I'd love to know how to do that. Just a quick couple of other questions. What's one word that you would choose to describe Rolling Arrays, your current employer?
Well, there are many words, but I think the best word I could describe about Rolling Arrays, I would say, is innovative, right? To the fact that every year we have a lot of strategy, and we have a lot of offering to the customer, and it's all different year by year, right? To the point that we always look at how is our positioning in the market at the moment, and especially against the competition, and how we are trying to be different as compared to the other organization. I just give you an example. This year we have, because of COVID-19, I guess, and starting mid last year, we focused on developing the clock in clock out mobile solution, which is really amazing. in response to the COVID-19 that people don't go to the premise, right? People needs to be tracking their attendance via mobile. And that gives us a very innovative solution and got a lot of traction. People want to see if this can be done using a face recognition and all those things, you know. So I think we are on top of the game, and that's one thing that I'm really proud of being Rolling Race, because they have all this proactive initiative to come up with every solution differently and as to unique differentiate us against any competitors in the market. Of all the competition in the market, especially in the Malaysia market, I think Rolling Race, I can be biased, but I would say Rolling Race is the most consistent partner that is very stable and still focused on selling very specific technology solution in HR, which is success factors.
If people are new to Rolling Arrays, so people joining Rolling Arrays new, what advice would you give them to be successful within Rolling Arrays?
Well, I think first of all, if there needs to be self-driven initiative from our end, we cannot expect everything will be smooth for sure. I mean, if we don't like in this situation, somewhere else also have the same situation, right? So just face it. My advice to the newcomers, if they're joining Rolling Race, number one is that to set the expectation correctly. Everything will happen, good or bad. Just swallow it, just do it, and just face it. And just to make sure, and you need to make sure that you communicate. It's either to your manager, to your peers, but also the best to your managers, right? Because manager is the one that can help you, guide you wherever you want to grow up in the organization. So I think that's my best key takeaways that I could advise to the newcomers in Rolling Race.
I can tell there's a real soft spot for customers and an understanding of the customer's problems and whatever. But my question is, what is your mantra? What is your philosophy about delivering value to customers?
There is no single bullet. Whenever we speak with the customer, we just need to make sure that we know who we are talking to, right? And need to ensure that the message that we are bringing is matters for them, right? Like, for example, if I speak with the IT, they don't care about the HR value itself. If I speak with the HR, they don't care about the product security, right? So I just need to ensure that I know who I am speaking with and what level, because the type of discussion will be different. If I speak with the director level, they don't care a little bit. They don't care much about what's happening on the ground. They think about very strategic things like getting the reports, dashboard, and all those things for them to make a strategic decision. But if I speak with the person on the ground, I can get all the pains on what's happening, right? But maybe people up there don't care about it. But if you would like to know the real challenges of the customer, speak with the people on the ground or the manager level, because they are the one that day-to-day basis are feeling the pain, right? So I guess the most important thing is that know the person that you speak with. If they come from a tier 1 company or tier 2 company and they have done a project with a tier 1 company and tier 2 company, the mentality is different. So I need to make sure that I go in the phone with the customer, understanding about where they come from and what's the potential objection they're gonna throw at me. So that's the mantra, I guess.
All right, Tom, we're going to end the podcast with one last question. Then you're a relatively young guy, certainly younger than I am. But Tom, in 5 or 10 years' time, what is your career aspiration?
I think I would like to have, of course, I'd like to improve professionally and personally as well, to become a better person, definitely. But I guess in the next 5 to 10 years, I see myself to become a director. Whether it could be a sales director, or it could be like a director of some marketing director or something like that, but still within that realm. And look at myself, of course, with a better compensation structure. Absolutely, that's the expectation. And with a better package, with a better everything is better. That's pretty much the aspiration that I'm thinking through. But of all the things that I'm expecting to get, definitely personally and professionally, it needs to be a better person that can be beneficial towards others.
Well, that's a great way to finish the podcast. So, Tom Becher, thank you very much for participating in Rolling Stories. we thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thanks, Philip. Really appreciate it.